So hi everyone and welcome to the June Headlamp community call. My name's Lexi. I'll be leading today's call. So we're trying something new with the timing today. So this call is happening at 20 UTC as an experiment. We're trying to see if it's better for different time zones. And since we have a few people in the call, I think it's a success so far. So thanks for rolling with the changes and being here. For everyone that is new, welcome. These calls are a space for our Headlamp community to kind of connect, hear updates, see demos, share feedback. And I think how many of us are there? I'm thinking, yeah, there's 7 of us. I think we should just do like a quick round of introductions. Just share your name, where you're joining from. That'd be really cool to know, and what brings you here. And since I'm already talking, I will start. I'm Lexi. I'm from Microsoft. I support open source community engagement, which is why I do stuff like this. And I've known about Headlamp since the very beginning, and but not technically. So I'm just learning that bit, and I'm joining from London, so it's a little bit later here, but just excited to connect with everybody. So Joshua, I think you're next because your face popped up here. So why don't you go?
Oh, I've been here, but I missed a couple of last sessions. But I work for Virginia Tech, a university in Virginia. We're in Southwest Virginia, so we're in the Eastern time zone. Glad to be here.
And I'll just put whoever's next. Vishali? Did I say it correct? I'm sorry if I didn't. Correct me.
Hi. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Hi, this is Vrishali, and I work at Oracle, and I've been working with Headlamp since a year now for the Headlamp UI that was support for our team, which is like the OCNE team. And I'm joining from New York, United States.
Awesome. And Prashant, I hope that was correct. Would you like to go next? Great.
Am I audible? Hello everyone. I'm Prashant and I'm from India. And this is my first time attending CNCF Headlamp community call. And I'm currently like contributing to CNCF, and I'm just looking forward to learning and contributing to this community. So thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Welcome. Okay, Evangelos.
Hey everyone, I'm Evangelos. I'm a Headlamp maintainer. Been on the team for about a year. Just checking in. I'm currently I'm in Pennsylvania right now, but I bounce between Pennsylvania and New York City. So yeah.
Awesome. And Will?
Hey everyone, glad to be here. Glad to have all of you on the call. I'm the product manager for Headlamp, and excited to tell you about our release today and go over a pre-recorded demo when the time comes. Thanks, Lexi.
Great to have you. Oh, I don't know. Yep. Told me I was still muted. Matt, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt. I work at Microsoft on some open source stuff, Cluster API and Cluster API for Azure. And I'm in Boulder, Colorado. And a few weeks ago at the Cluster API meeting, somebody said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had a plugin for Headlamp? And so on a Friday, I started messing around with it. And, as I think we all know, the docs are pretty good and it's pretty easy to get started. So I've gotten pretty far, and I think it's close to where it'd be an MVP and mergeable, but mostly I've just had a lot of fun working with, because I am not really a web developer, not for the last 25 years. So it's all new to me, and it's very fun to work with.
So you'll be doing the next demo, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's really pretty close, but
so cool.
But yeah, I'm just here to see demos and other stuff. I don't have any specific questions, but thank you for doing this.
Yeah, great to have you. And we just have Vincent as well to just do a quick intro.
Mike's picking up okay with like the bouncer and choosing like at random. So hopefully I'm coming in clear. I'm Vincent. I'm also a dev on the Headlamp team with the guys for around 2 years now. And yeah, I'm excited to hear from you guys.
It's just a little bit hard to hear, but I think I got the gist of it. So all good. So yeah, welcome everybody. It's so great to see such a good turnout, especially since we have a new time. And yeah, it's really great. So I think we should move on to the project updates, which today will be sharing what's new this month, the new update, which is exciting. So Will, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. So we released our newest version, 0.3.1.1, was released today. So at a high level, like this release focuses on improving like stability, usability, especially around live UI updates and some of our desktop installation. And there are a few things around binaries signing that's still pending. So some of our bug fixes, we'll just do a quick, very quick, uh, um, very quick items here. So we're able to resolve issues with the live UI updates. So resources should now be correctly reflected in changes in the cluster in real time. And that was broken in the previous release. We also fixed button visibility with the auth chooser component and improved handling of the multiplexed WebSocket connections. And then on the desktop side, for the Windows, like I mentioned, for the Windows and Mac binaries, those are still unsigned. So users will still see OS warnings during installation, but we do have some documentation in the release. If you want, I can also include it here, but we've included detailed instructions in the desktop installation docs to help users to essentially work around those warnings during installation. And other fixes, we had like a few CI and Helm chart improvements, documentation updates with minor UI enhancements. And you can find that full release. I'll go ahead and add it to the chat for all of you. But that's it for me. Thanks, thanks, Lexi.
Great. Well, don't thank me yet because you're up again. So yeah, we'll do the demo portion as well right now.
Yeah, excellent.
So yeah, so Joachim put together, I'll just intro you. Joachim put together an AI assistant for Headlamp, and I hope I got that right. And I was going to walk us through it. So
essentially, yeah, no, absolutely correct. So it's really a client that it wasn't included in this demo, and I'll be sharing shortly, but it can be configured to work with popular LLM providers like Azure OpenAI, Mistral, Anthropic, and things like that, and providers like that. We didn't include that in the demo, but that's how it's designed to work, and it's going to give essentially context to those providers about what you're actually looking at. And give me one moment. Let's see. Oh, screen one. All right. Sorry. So here again, it's pre-recorded, so nothing goes sideways. But here we can see just Headlamp here, and then he's clicking on the client that's already installed. So it will be a plugin. In there, we can ask, he's asking the client, so what are you? Client's responding, the AI is responding, an AI assistant designed to work with Headlamp and so forth. And we can see our next prompt. So part of this, the powerful part of this is that you can use, essentially, as we'll see later on in the demo, we can use natural language to essentially tee things up so that the AI client can run commands for us. So if you don't remember the kubectl commands right off the top of your head, no worries here. We can get that done And it's just really enabling some of those natural language stuff there. So here we're seeing a look at asking about some of the pods. And then next, we're getting a drill down into a brief rundown of what some of those events mean. So default, normal, warning. And this is added context, especially if you tend to be maybe a newer user and you're still getting used to Headlamp. And this works from across a spectrum. So whether you're a new user or a more experienced user, having AI have context to what's going on is always helpful. And here we can see we're being asked, we're asking the AI, who now has context through the client, about what pods need my attention, right? And the AI has essentially there identified that particular pod, which is pod example. And now I'm asking, the user's asking, can you delete pod example? And essentially that screen that just popped up, so we'll go back a second, the screen that just popped up, it's going to make sure that, okay, so are you sure you want to delete this pod? And then we can go ahead and just click yes. So it's not going to be done automatically for you. So it's just a bit of a gating measure there to stop you from maybe deleting something that wasn't meant to be deleted. So now the pod's been deleted successfully. And here we can see we're looking for that pod from our search bar, and we can see that the pod is now in the process of being terminated. And here, as a user now, I'm asking, I want to create a config map with a few items. And you can see essentially all the things here. We're asking for maybe some of the sillier things like apple, banana, and essentially, can you help me do that? And right now, it's going to create that config map. And you can open the editor and you can see the config map. And then from there, if you're satisfied with the config map, you can essentially apply it, right? And once that's applied, we can go to our configuration menu and see that config map that the AI has just helped us essentially put together. We verified it and then applied it together. And now we're just wrapping up. We've created the banana config map, and now we can go ahead and delete it. And then that prompt's going to pop up again, making sure that's the action that we really want to take. And from there, that's essentially the end of the demo. But it's using natural language to interact with Kubernetes. I mean, if from those of us who've been using Kubernetes for a long time, everything's been like kubectl all the time. So now we're seeing sort of the benefits of integrating AI in this sense, is that we can use our natural language and essentially execute some of these commands. And the AI is also make sure that everything is scoped within context. So if you ask it something outside of its context, like a breakfast recipe, it won't really be able to help with that, but it can tell you a joke, right? So that may help us save tokens in the future with maybe someone who should only be using our AI models for Headlamp. So that may help us there. But that brings us to the end of our demo. And if I can find my screen. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of the demo. So essentially here, we're enhancing this AI assistant by helping it to share contextual information about what essentially you're seeing in Headlamp, right? So if, for example, in the cluster, there's some sort of trouble going on, there's an image pull back off, the assistant is going to understand within context what you mean by this cluster. And that is essentially based on like your current view, right? So this is contextual awareness that's going to extend across different views within the UI. And in addition to using Headlamp's context, the assistant may also make like direct read-only requests to the Kubernetes API server and in that way it can gather more information. So any destructive actions such as deletions, applies that require an explicit action that requires user confirmation. That's what we saw essentially in that pop-up video. And it's strictly scoped to Kubernetes related topics, so it's not going to respond to anything unrelated to that. So we think that this is a really powerful first few steps in really allowing us to lean into the realities of AI and what we can do with LLMs or that kind of tooling. And looking ahead, we plan to support plugin-based context enrichment. So if, like, for instance, if you're an open cost plugin, you could provide cost insights, enabling the assistant to answer questions like, how can I reduce costs on my workloads, right? With real cost data, right? And you can extend that similarly to other integrations with tools like inspector gadgets. So at Headlamp, we see ourselves as like a UI for the community, and now what we're also doing is becoming a bit of an AI integrator. So if you want to bring your Mistral, your Mistral LLM, or whether it's OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, that's what we were looking at in the example. And that kind of integration is going to make Headlamp even more powerful, even more user-friendly, and more context-aware. So that's just the beginning from our end.
Very cool. Thank you so much for presenting that. Does anybody have any questions for Will? Well, I, for one, was really excited to see all that was possible with AI support. Oh, sorry, Matt, go ahead.
Just a quick question. We had an internal demo this morning where an intern hooked up something similar, somewhat similar, but specifically just for a plugin that I also think isn't published yet. But you're saying this is something we could take advantage of and then maybe give it some
Correct.
additional corpus, so it would just.
And I think I know exactly the one you're speaking to, but that's correct.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
they can use it and they can build on top of it, so it's context aware. For that plugin, that's like based on like the without giving anything away, based on the functionality of that particular tool. But yes, that's going to be made available, so you can build on top of it. Maybe, hopefully, get community contributions too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. Anybody else wanna? Yeah, Joshua?
Thanks, William. This is great. I saw that there's already a public branch. Can we try this out? Is it not ready at all to try out? What state is it in?
It's very close to being able for you to try it out.
Okay.
I can't give you a date, but we're a lot closer than we were yesterday. But those updates will be coming shortly, and it won't, like, we'll make sure there'll be because of how powerful we think this is, like, that it can be in the beginnings of like what we as a community can do to make essentially Kubernetes more accessible and easier for everyone. It's a priority for us to get that out there so we can work on it collaboratively. So it is going to be made public soon, and as soon as it is, you'll get notifications on the new channel, and when it is available, you'll be seeing. We'll be making a note in the next version of this call as well. Yeah.
An additional question: is this related at all to Kate's GPT or K Agent, or is it kind of like a separate thing just for Headlamp?
It's just for you said Kate's KH.
Yeah, Kate's GPT. That's a CNCF project, and K Agent.
Yeah. No, so this
is
is
another
just
one that's similar.
Yeah, so this isn't really an agent on the side. It's a client with a context. So you can connect an agent for it. Yeah, so it isn't related to that, or quite yet. It isn't related to that. So it's really just making giving context to the providers that you're using. So I believe we have Mistral, Azure, OpenAI. We also have a few others right out the box that you can essentially you're just going to put in your endpoints and being able to connect to it, and then you'll be essentially using your agent. Yeah,
That's great. Thank you.
yeah.
Great. Does anybody have anything else for Will? If not, then let's just open up the floor for questions or comments or any feedback from anybody. We have 3 people from the team on the call, so they could answer those or just take feedback. Yeah, just unmute yourself or drop a comment in the chat. Has anybody been trying anything new with Headlamp, or is there something you might want to see? Well, besides the AI integration, anything else that you might want to see in the next release? Or
I have something that my users. Oh, sorry, Matt has his hand up, so I'll let him go.
No, go ahead. I'll wait.
I have a link to one of our repositories. We've created a few plugins. Our users asked for this, so I was thinking maybe it could be something that could be done by Headlamp eventually. They just want to list permissions, what permissions they have. I might be able to get you a screenshot to do this really quick. Yep. There we go. It should be getting to you now. So it's just a simple page that queries the API for permissions for the user and with the namespace drop-down selection.
cool, I'll download it and make sure to put it into the post-production of the video so that everybody could see it. Thanks for sharing.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing.
Matt, you want to jump in?
Yeah, these are kind of ticky-tack things, but since you asked and they were on my mind. So in doing the cluster API plugin, there's a whole bunch of new CRDs, several of which are explicitly designed to act like built-in objects. And so something I wanted to have happen is to have like, so there's a deployment in Kubernetes, there's a machine deployment in cluster API, there's a replica set in Kubernetes, there's a machine set, and they're supposed to be parallel objects so you can scale them. They're scalable resources. But in Headlamp, there's 2 places where that's sort of a hard-coded list. Like these are the things that can be scalable and they can't. So it's just a list in 2 places. So if we could somehow make that one list and then make plugins be able to append to that list, then what happens is on the details view, the little scale button just magically shows up and you get the scale dialog and everything does the right thing. So I hacked that into Headlamp by just making a 2-line diff, and then I open an issue about it. But I guess one question I have is, where should a request like that go? Should that go in Headlamp or Headlamp plugins? It's about the plugins, but where would it be more visible? Like, could we add this extension to, I guess the Headlamp plugin library is where it would end up. If this is too detailed, I could open an issue, but I wasn't sure.
No problem. No, great question. Evangelist, do you have any sense of where would be the best to place that one?
I could jump in here. That's okay. I feel
Or
like
Vincent?
yeah, sure. For most things, if you want to get something to our attention, you guys
And Vincent, we can't hear you very well. Is your mic close or far away?
Okay, well now. Better,
It's
worse?
still a little better.
Okay. Yeah. All that to say, I was trying to get across the best place to, I guess, get these issues out there would be for the main repo, the K8 one, because I believe
Okay.
we still have some plans to migrate the plugins over. We're still deciding, I believe, whether or not we want to incorporate it to our main repo or whether or not we want to have its own repo as well. But right now, I feel like the best way to get the attention there would be for the official one.
Okay. I will move it over then.
So just drop the issue in there. We'll be sure to check it out.
Cool.
So that was just to put it into the main repo, right?
Yeah, for most issues.
Okay. Just it was a little hard to hear, so I just wanted to say it again. Perfect.
And then I had another really similar, very small request, which is there's a data structure that lists all the, it's just called like resource types. And what it ends up doing is if your resource type is in that list, then when you generate the details view, it generates a nice link to it. And so I want to stick my things in that list. And when I do, then I get that same behavior, which is great because cluster API objects have a lot of linking. So then you can just traverse the tree by clicking through the detail. So anyway, I figured out a way to kind of hack that into that data structure that will work, but it'd be better if they're like an official way to say, add this resource type. So I'll make a similar issue for that and I'll put it in the main repo.
Thanks for that, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, does anybody else have anything that they might want to talk about? Now's the time. Okay. I'll give it like another beat, another 2. All right, that's it. Okay, so, well, sorry. Obviously, we're always there on Slack and GitHub. Sounded so official. No, but really, thanks again, everyone, for joining. This is a well-attended talk, so a call. So we'll definitely be doing a later one going forward. But next time we will be going back to, and I think it's July 24th, we will be going back to 15 UTC, which is 4 p.m. London, 11 a.m. Eastern, New York, and 8:30 p.m. India. And yeah, so we'll just be returning for that time slot, and then in August we'll continue doing the 20 UTC because it seemed pretty successful. So very happy about that. And as I mentioned, you could always reach out via GitHub, Kubernetes, Slack. You could just find us with Headlamp, and of course Slack is still alive, not alive, but we could still use Slack, which is another newsworthy thing to mention. But yeah, check us out there, and thanks again for the lively discussion. Thank you, Will, for presenting and giving us all the updates. And yeah, that's it for us. And have a great rest of your day or evening for me. All right, have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thanks.